up, guys? I am back with another video. So today's Sunday. You're seeing what? Well, you already would have seen it. The religion question mark video pop up. I wanted to talk about it just because of what it is, right? It's so vast. There's so many people that practice religion of some sort, so that's why I did that video. It actually feels colder today. Are my vents open? I do. That's probably keeping me a little chilly. It feels colder today than it was the other day, and the other day was 27. Today is 32. So yeah, I gotta get a video out today. Not out today, but I gotta get one made today, just because Monday and Tuesday we're supposed to be getting rain, and with rain comes the inevitable ice this time of year, which means they're gonna salt the roads again, and the CB is gonna go back into hibernation mode for who knows how long. I really, really wish I could ride this bike all year round. Maybe one day I'll go to an area that I can. I don't know. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon. I won't bore you with the same streets. I'm actually gonna go the longer route to please your eyes. So I don't know if I ever, in my time of talking to you guys, if I've really talked about my jobs, what I do now, what I did back in the day. I know I said I worked at Super Shoes. I did. I worked at Super Shoes. Now, as a kid, it was kind of a whatever job. That place, it has, they build them out of like log cabin looking places, right? And it's got the big rafters as the I-beams that run across. And we were so not busy all the time that we came up with games to play with the stuffing for the shoes. It's like the paper stuffing that you get in your shoe. Or it was like we stood on one side and we would make not a bat, but like a paddle out of the boxes, the old boxes that people never wanted. And we would try to paddle those things through the rafters back and forth. And I could be there all day sometimes and not see one person. Not one person would come in. It's probably why they closed. Super Shoes is still a name up here, but that store closed. We all got laid off. We got our little pension checks. Was probably, I think I got like $1,500. Dude, that was like the most money I'd ever seen in my life. It was awesome. And then I probably just bought dumb shit with it. So after the Super Shoes layoff, I was still in high school, and I didn't really like excel at anything. I just kind of did my own thing. I wasn't a fan of school. So I did more like automotive type stuff and welding, and I sucked at woodworking, but I did it. I did the plumbing aspect of things. So I became more hands-on mechanical. So as a year or two passed by in high school, when I say I just barely passed high school, I just barely passed high school. I hated it. It's not that I couldn't have passed it, you know, with flying colors. It's just the fact that like I just didn't like school. I wasn't a fan of it. So I get out of school, and my dad, he goes, "Well, what's your plan now?" And I said, "I don't have one." He said, "Well, you will have one." I said, "Well, you ain't going to college." Just wasn't a fan of having to pay for college, and I didn't like school, so that wasn't really there. And he's like, "Well, it looks like the military then." He was military. nobody else in his family was. It was my mom's side of the family that had a couple military service people in it. Both my sisters had joined the Coast Guard, and I was kind of stuck. Like, what do I do? I'm an idiot, you know? So I went and looked around. I put some... This is back when they had the recruiters at the malls. Do you guys remember that? They had recruiters. It was mostly Marines, but they had a Marine recruiter at the mall. And I went in, sat down, talked to them. And without anybody knowing, I thought that was what I was going to do. I kind of just said, hey, this is my plan. I'm going for it. Road pizza. So yeah, the Marines was my plan. I did some research on it. Of the military, you were going straight overseas. There was no doubt about it. I don't think I knew one kid that joined either the Army or the Marines that didn't go overseas. It's still a possibility. Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard. It was all still possible, but those guys were going overseas. I kind of wanted to go, to be honest. Got told that, you know, when it's not active wartime, you're training all the time. And I was like, man, well, I kind of want a job where I'm doing stuff, you know, not just training for situations, but actually going out and doing the things. And that's where my older sister was like, you need to come down and check out the base, see if you like the Coast Guard. I liked boats. I grew up on boats, driving jet skis around, doing all kinds of stupid stuff out on the water. So I was like, all right, let's see what it's like. I wanted to go to California. Back then I surfed, and you heard about all the great surf spots in California. So I was like, man, it would be cool to get stationed in California. So I figured out I liked what the Coast Guard did. I liked what they stood for, and I liked helping people. So that was like, you know, that was a big point. My dad had offered me, you know, let's drive up to the recruiter. It was up in South Portland, Maine, or it was up in Portland, Maine, sorry. And I got to talking to the recruiter, and from there I signed my name on the piece of paper, and he said, oh, you got about 6 months. My dad wasn't a fan of that. He was like, it's the military, they should just automatically want you in. I didn't know any better. He's like, there should be a group next month going. Well, why not then? And it was a quota deal back then. They were trying to get African Americans, Hispanics, whites, and they had already filled their quota with white people. Crazy, you know, but that's just how it went. So I called up my sister, told her what the news was, said I got about 6 months, and 6 months is a long time for people to change their mind and whatever else. And, you know, that's... I don't think I was obligated to go, even after saying, hey, I would. But there was more of like my own obligation that I made to myself that this is something I was going to do. So I end up calling up my sister. She's like, hey, I know somebody down in Puerto Rico. He's a recruiter. He probably doesn't have a quota for white people filled yet, if he ever gets them filled. So let me hook you up with him. I called up my recruiter at that point and said, hey, you know, I may be switching spots. I may fly to Puerto Rico, see if I can get in sooner. And all of a sudden his mind had changed. It was like, yeah, dude, you're good. You're going next month. So I left for the military. It was August, I want to say it was. September, October, November. Came home, it was like the beginning of August, and came home late October, or mid-October, somewhere around there. So I'm like, all right. Now I go through the whole boot camp stage. I, you know, do the military thing. I stay active first 4 years. And they're like, hey, it's time to figure out what you want to do. I thought I was just going to be in as an E3 for my entire career, which was 4 years, get out and find something new to do. Well, I picked mechanics. MK, machinery technician. Don't ask me why they call it MK. I don't know what the K stands for, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's what I did. I joined, became a mechanic. The Coast Guard's really weird and cool at the same time, where no matter what your rate is, you can still do all the small jobs. And when I say small jobs, like I'm talking law enforcement, search and rescue, you're not stuck in your one job that you chose. So that's how I did all my law enforcement. That's how I did search and rescue. I got to work with President Bush at one point in time. So just a bunch of cool stuff. From there, I was booted out. My shoulders went bad. My knees are bad. You know, I ride motorcycles. I picked a bike that's upright now because it's just I can't lean over anymore. So I start looking around, and I get my resume in with a company that works a lot with military, and they picked me up. And I got picked up as what I called an ASS, an administrative support specialist, and now I am a DM. I went from that to data management. Data management is so boring, man. Like, it's not the hardest job in the world, it's not the easiest, but man, is it just boring. The amount of people that say you're on a motorcycle right now is kind of insane. It's 33. We're good. I'm not dying. It's not my only vehicle. I choose to do this to myself. Anyways, the mission is complete. I did what I came to do, which was buy dog food, nail clippers, and some sealant for the door in my garage, because the garage door is trash. Where was I at in the story? Oh, data management. The data management side of things is actually just insanely boring. I had to take this job just to kind of get it in. Now that I'm here, I'm kind of stuck in data management. I've been offered other jobs, configuration management. It's not something I want to do. My dream is to not work on a computer. That's my dream. But you guys know the drill. I'm out of here. Today is going to be the last day you see the CB, more than likely for a while. Z125 time after this. She'll be in the videos, but she'll be in the background if I do some videos from home. Hit that like button. Comment on what your jobs were as a kid, however long you want to tell me in depth. It's up to you. Whatever you'd like. Tell me some funny jobs, some shit that nobody really knows about you that you did. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the 101 subs since I started. It's going a lot better than I thought it ever would. I will see you in the next one.